So you're going into education, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of teacher you want to be?
For second grade.
Second grade?
Yeah,
Why
mix of
second grade, not
subjects.
first or third?
First, I think it's going to be a little bit too difficult because they're not going to know much. And then third grade, they have to get them ready for the state test. I want to teach in New York City.
I mean, New Jersey doesn't have that. We don't have the state tests.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Um,
They still have some sort of end of the year testing, but
no, they
I
have
don't know if
tests,
it's
but
the same
it's not state regulated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a test that you have to take to graduate.
Yeah, they don't have
school.
regions either.
No regions. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's better or worse.
I mean, I think the regions were fine. It was just what we learned throughout the year.
Really? So you had good teachers then? How was the year of COVID? Did you go to school during that year?
We did a year and a half online,
Right.
and then for my senior year, I went in person. But I
So-
only finished in 6 months. I did one
Right.
semester only. I took night school classes.
Got it. How was the online?
I think it was more difficult,
Got it.
especially for the math course.
Got it. How do you like to work at the firm?
I love it.
What do you like best?
I like how I don't have to take home any homework, and I like to converse
We
with
can
all
give
the
you
workers.
homework. I always have homework.
No, it's okay.
Would you like me to? No, I'm just kidding around. So, wait, so what do you like the best?
I like working with older people. Like, I don't like to be around people who so much that are around my age, because you guys, like, what's it called? I ask a lot of advice, and I don't know. I just feel like I have better connections with people who are my age.
The people nice here?
Yeah.
Wait, do you have it? You have other people your age. You have an extern from New Milford here. You ever speak to her?
Spoken like once or twice.
Is that a good person to get to know?
No, she's good. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying I don't like to talk to anyone my age. I like talking to grown-ups.
You like talking to grown-ups better?
I like their mindsets. Yes.
Got it. Interesting. Because they give you more information, or?
Mhm. So I like to ask you guys a lot of questions about your future, what you wanted to do,
Right.
stuff like that. So you can
What-
give me insight
So
on what I want to do.
What do I want to do?
I think you said you wanted to go to law when you were in 7th grade?
Yeah, so
You
in
were just telling
seventh,
me.
so in 7th grade, I love reading. I fell in love with reading in 4th grade. We had something called busing.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have any black people in my town. And they wanted to integrate the black people and the white people. So they sent me, I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to get on the bus to go almost 2 hours to Compton area, Cienega. So I could be in a black school, and then the black kids came to the white schools, and they integrated. And so I would read on the bus, the Hardy Boys, and I just fell in love with reading. In 7th grade, I read a book about this guy, John Peter Zenger, who actually was coincidentally he was a publisher in New York City, right down the block. And he was arrested for seditious libel. And what that means is he wrote bad things about the British governor, Bill Cosby, no relation to the famous comedian who had some problems later on. And I just fell in love with the fact that there was this powerful attorney named Andrew Hamilton, who came all the way from Philadelphia by horseback. He was supposed to be the best attorney around,
Mm-hmm.
to come represent this man who was arrested, they believe wrongfully, and they had a trial, and we were in America yet because it was 1735. Not just 1735, it's not. We had a lot of years left to go. But in 1735, with an American jury, they tried John Peter Zenger for libel, and he would have gone to jail. It was criminal libel of whether he. And the truth wasn't a defense. It doesn't matter if you say bad things about the king, you would go to jail. And the American jury acquitted him, meaning they set him free, not guilty. So what I was inspired by it, because I love the way that one person could use their words as a lawyer to free a man and get him his freedom. I thought that was the most incredible thing. And I'm like, perfect. I love to speak. I love reading. Maybe this job lawyering works. And then I learned a few years later that I can't be a lawyer. Because lawyers were for rich people, people that had money. We didn't have any money. So then I wanted to be a journalist. I remember writing my uncle in California how I wanted to be a journalist. In 8th grade, so I went into the journalism class and I said, I want to write. And I wrote for the school newspaper. So I had that. And then finally I met a lawyer who I didn't think was that smart at a place where I worked. And he told me about this thing called loans. And he became a lawyer through loans. So I didn't have to be rich. Mm-hmm. That was it. Because they kept all my doors open by getting good grades, I was able to apply to law school.
Did you receive any scholarships?
No. I didn't receive any scholarships. My grades were very good, but my test scores were not good. My LSAT scores were not good. They were pretty low.
Sounds very inspiring.
And that was the start. John Peter Zenger actually has an exhibit down the block on Wall Street. You know where that statue of George Washington is? Have you ever seen it? If you go to Wall Street, straight down the block, about 100 feet away from here, straight down this canyon of heroes, you run into a church. That's where Alexander Hamilton's buried. Make a right, you run into George Washington statue, go inside, and there's an exhibit of John Peter Zenger.
Okay.
And it tells the story of the printing press.
You mean the church right next to the building where they have the Signature Bank?
Across the street is a bank.
No.
It's called Trinity Church. It's on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I go right
Right-hand
next to
side is a bank.
Okay.
In fact, that's the first bank. That's the bank that Alexander Hamilton started, called the Bank of New York. That was the original bank he started. But now it's changed hands, I believe.
I used to say I wanted to be an officer, a lawyer, psychologist, and then I was like, I think I want to veer towards education, because my main goal is to help people, and with all of those career choices, that's what you do. You assist people.
I agree.
And I like to work with kids, so I want to try it out.
I think it's great. My parents are teachers. One of my sisters is teachers. My brother-in-law is a teacher. My grandmother was a secretary for the Board of Ed. So we have my aunt's a teacher, my uncle's a teacher. So we have teachers.
Yeah, everyone loves to teach.
It's great sitting down at the table and everyone's part of that union. Mm-hmm. Very powerful union.
Yeah.
And they're all helping people. I love seeing the letters 20 years later that they write to my family about how they've helped them. You know the scholarship you won? Who it's named after?
The Raymond one?
Yeah.
Was he one of your teachers?
Yes. Well, I was never actually a student. But he was my track coach.
Oh, your coach.
He was my track coach. I almost was his. I was in honors English, so I never had him as a teacher. He was my track coach from 8th grade to 12th grade.
Were all of your
Raymond
classes?
had Harrison scholarship.
Were all of your classes honors?
Everything but math. I was in just the one thing below honors. Everything else is honors. So science, English, history. What else is there?
Science, English, history, language.
Spanish. I was in honors Spanish. You had been really good at that.
Oh, I didn't even take Spanish. I took Italian.
Good for you. It's easy. A lot of people that spoke Spanish took Spanish. I'm like, that's not fair. Take something you don't know.
Yeah, my school didn't offer Spanish, so it was fun to
Didn't
learn Italian.
really? School didn't offer Spanish? How is that possible?
I don't know.
Because
it's
so many
possible
people
either.
spoke Spanish in school? Got it, makes sense.
Probably. It was fun too.
So what do you think of the office? Is it serious? Is it fun? Is it business-like? Or how would you describe it?
I think it's in between it all. Like, you can still feel comfortable to talk to everyone,
Right.
but then you guys are all doing your job at the same time.
Yeah.
You're not playing around.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you see anybody joking around or not working hard?
Mm-mm. Everyone does their job.
That's good to know. Because you're on the other side of the office, so I don't even see that side too often.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make friends with anybody here?
I made friends with Marina and Krima, Ashley, some
What do
people
you
from our side.
what do you think of them?
I think they're cool.
They're okay? Got it. How'd you meet them?
Everyone introduced themselves to me when I first started, and then we just started talking from there.
Yeah. Did they teach you anything? Did they take you out to their extracurricular activities? I think Marina does a knitting class and painting.
Really?
And Quiva does Irish dancing. And she is very into tasting different types of drinks. Mixing drinks to get the perfect. She's trying to make the perfect one. Irish drinks. I think that's their hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Besides working so hard at the firm, I think that's the number one.
I like to go out for my break. Little park right there, the fountain by the
Yeah,
pool.
isn't that great?
I love sitting there.
I love seeing
looking at the water.
Yeah, me too. It's such a wonderful place to work. I don't like Midtown. It's so busy. It's tall buildings. There's no sun. I don't quite understand it. I'm so glad we get to work down here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when you become a teacher, you can teach at one of the schools down here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a school across the street. The school around the corner.
Yeah, that's my goal. Or in Queens.
Got it. Have you read my children's book?
I did once. And you gave it to me.
No, it wasn't very good.
It was a while ago.
Oh, got it. 10 years ago. Got it.
I think I should have it in my bookcase.
You have it in your bookcase? Got it. Didn't get thrown away. I appreciate that. It wasn't firewood. How long does it take you to get to work?
Like an hour.
So if we can make this firm better, what would you have us do?
I'm not really sure how it is in any other firms, so I'm not sure what to say. I think you guys are pretty fine
Okay.
with your work ethic.
Who do you think the hardest worker is at the firm?
I can't say. I haven't been with someone in their office long enough to tell.
Got
I
it.
think everyone works hard.
You don't think your Nancy Hernandez works the hardest?
I think she does work hard.
Yeah. Who they works harder, Nancy or Richard?
They're always busy.
Both
Both of them.
So who do you think's harder, Nancy or Richard, or Marina and Quiva?
Everybody's different.
What's that?
Everybody works hard.
Anybody? Okay.
Doesn't matter what side they're on.
Interesting. Does that help? Does that teach you to work harder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're gonna go to community college for 2 years? Which one?
BMCC.
Oh, BMCC.
Yeah, it's right there, a few blocks from World Trade.
Yeah, I know exactly what it
You think I should transfer after my first year or just graduate?
is. I would transfer as soon as possible.
Okay.
Getting into that 4-year school is everything. It's not just the classes, it's getting to know people and making friends. School isn't just about the academics, it's also socialization, building yourself culturally, all the experience you have, dealing with other people, socializing,
Yeah.
learning from others. I loved learning from all these different people from all walks of life, from all these different states, from all these different countries, and they all had fascinating things to say. And then I learned from them because they all had different study habits, and I would watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Some were more organized. I would ask them to teach me how they did it, and some were just smarter, and I would try to say, how'd you get so smart? And I try to learn from all of them so I can become smarter and a better worker. I use that today.
Yeah, you have to surround yourself around people that inspire you.
Yeah, that's one of the keys is always, if you have smart friends, then you always go to the top.
Yeah, you always want to look up to them.
Yeah.
Marina actually told me to use a planner
That's a
for
great
my
idea.
classes, and I just got one
Great
yesterday.
idea. She's smart. She's smart. You have any questions for me? So the scholarship, we pay the school directly.
Mm-hmm.
You just give us the bill. We pay the school for 4 years. Full.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, no, it's a good thing. My track coach was wonderful to me. He, when I didn't have any money, he gave me clothes, and he taught me to be the best I can be.
That's
There's
good.
qualities you can't do better. You cannot replicate. I mean, so it's a wonderful thing to have someone to teach you to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
And then when you needed clothes, to give you clothes. I mean, what's better than that? The only thing missing was food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a teacher in 9th grade that inspired me to actually become a teacher.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, she'd always.
What's her name?
Her name was Miss Altakis.
Takis guy.
Yeah. She would always talk about something like outside of school, off subject. We'd always talk about life.
Oh, really?
She'd relate to us, yeah.
What's an
I think she was
example?
like
of that?
23.
23, wow.
Depends what the subject came to, like every day. She was my honors English teacher.
Wow. Honors English. How many honors classes were you in?
In 9th grade, I was ahead in math because I took the algebra in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And then, in 9th grade, I took geometry and just honors English.
That's great.
Everything else was
Really good.
regular.
English is key, right? So what are you going to do as a part-time job? You're going to work here during school?
I was thinking of staying here.
Okay, that's great. Love to have you.
Oh, to keep the scholarship, do we stay here like the whole 4 years?
You don't have to stay here. I'd rather you focus on school than work here, actually. But that's up to you.
All right.
You have to, now you have, all the doors are open. It's for you to keep them open, excel, be the best you can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for this semester, I want to work here.
Okay. Grab everything you can. Grab as much learning as you can. Make yourself as great as possible. Build yourself in every way.
I have class 5 days a week.
It's okay. You do it. I got really good grades because I remember my fraternity brothers would come in and say, do you ever sleep? Like, all I see you do is work.
Mm-hmm.
I would socialize, but I would just work. I would be the hardest worker alive. I've never
For
met
school
anybody.
and then social life,
School
right?
and then after school, but I socialized also, but worked hard, play hard, but I still haven't met anybody that works harder than I do. So I've not met anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it stays that way. I mean, every day I wake up trying to have the best day I could possibly have.
Yeah.
You have an advantage, you speak 2 languages.
Mm-hmm.
Habla español. ¿Cuántos palabras hablan español?
Not all of them, but I can have a long conversation.
See?
Yeah. I wish I would have kept studying Italian.
Italian.
It was pretty fun.
Remember, millions and millions of people speak Spanish. It's all over New York and New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not that many are speaking Italian. There are. John Desiderio, one of the attorneys here, speaks Italian. It's a follow your dreams, whatever you love, I would follow that. I think you're going to do okay.
Thank you.
You have great parents, too. All right.
You're sweating.
It's okay.
I'm a clammy person.
What's that?
I said I'm a clammy person.
Why is that?
I don't know,
How'd
it's
you
just,
get that?
I randomly sweat. So. I mean, in summer and winter, my hands.
Yeah. I guess we all sweat.